Welcome, creatures of all ages. Wait, hold on. No, that's not it. Welcome, creatures of all ages. There I am. So, yeah, this is a very different time. This is a very different time than what I usually, than the time at which I usually stream at. However, let me just turn the browser audio down. But yeah, from now on, I'm going to every stream I do on Tuesday is probably going to be at around this time to coincide with a different schedule. But you know, needs to be something for everyone. Something for everyone. The show must go on. But yeah, today we are stepping out of history and a little bit into mythology, specifically the historical depiction of mythology, the depiction of mythology, the unabridged source. We are talking. Today we are going to be reading Bibliotheca. So a bit of background about Bibliotheca. Apollodorus, the name traditionally given to the author of the work known as Bibliotheca, the library, the compendium of Greek myths, is traditionally someone named Apollodorus. However, whether or not it's actually Apollodorus of Alexandria, an old Greek scholar in the late Hellenic period, is disputed. So he's often described. Amanda, welcome! You made it. How are you doing? So yeah, the person who wrote it is Apollodorus, but not the Apollodorus. So he is known as Pseudo Apollodorus. Okay, just loogie in my throat. But yeah, I'm going to just we are going to be reading from book 2 of the library, Bibliotheca. And this is going to be about the heroes of Greek myth, starting with Bellerophon, starting with Proetus, and going on to Bellerophon, then Perseus, and finally Heracles and the Heracleidae. Heracles is a figure I will be talking a bit more at length because there was a cult that eventually grew up surrounding him, and of course we know him more by his Roman name, which is Hercules. But anyways, let me just turn off the browser audio and go to Rome 2. All right. As much crap as people give Pharaoh definitely runs better when alt-tabbed and compared to games like and definitely more streamable than previous editions. But yeah, thank you so much for coming, Amanda, and yeah, let's get started. So yeah, this is Bibliotheca Book 2. Having gone through the family of Deucalion, we have next to speak of that of Inachus. Ocean and Tethys had a son, Inachus, after whom a river in Argos is named called Inachus. He and Melia, daughter of Ocean, had sons, Pharoneus and Aegialius, having died childless, the whole country afterwards was called Aegialia, and Pharoneus, reigning over the whole land afterwards named Peloponnese, begat Apis and Niobe by nymph Teladice. Yeah, that's what I'm here. That's what I'm here for. Just keep doing what you're doing, and I will tell you timeless tales. Apis converted his power into a tyranny and named the Peloponnese after himself, Appia, but being a stern tyrant, and he was conspired against and slain by Telxon and Telchis. He left no child, and being deemed a god was called Serapis. Yes, but Niobe had by Zeus, and she was the first mortal woman with whom Zeus cohabited, a son Argus. And also, says Acusilaus, a son Pelasgus, after whom the inhabitants of the Peloponnese were called the Pelasgians. However, Hesiod says that Pelasgus was the son of the soil. I don't know too much about this, but I do know that the Pelasgians were supposedly a very old people who used to live there, before the, I don't know, before the Dorian invasion at least, and maybe before the Mycenaean civilization, but like around 1750 BC. Anyways, let's see, what am I doing right now? I got some sword and shield militia. I have some island skirmishers, javelins. I got the Wanax's retinue and palace guards, and a hell of a lot of two-handed spearmen. And of course, the big man, Agamemnon. And again, and over here they have some spearmen, some bowmen and slingers. I'm gonna have to be careful about this, because if I just start walking towards them, he's going to win. Okay, about him I shall speak again, but Argus received the... About him I shall speak again, but Argus received the kingdom and called the Peloponnese after himself, Argus, and having married Evadne, daughter of Strymon and Neaira, he begat Ecbasus, Pyrrhus, Epidaurus, and Criasus, who also succeeded to the kingdom. Ecbasus had a son, Agenor, and Agenor had a son, Argus. Argus, the one who was called the All-Seeing, so another Argus. He had eyes in the whole of his body. Yes, he is literally covered, his skin is covered in eyes. Okay. Let's see. My mic's working fine, alright. Let's see. Let's get you over here. Let's see if I can run these guys into the bushes. Same thing with these palace guard. Excellent charge. River Bath Day. Alright. You haven't told me about that, but it sounds very, very epic, because the manliest of men bathe in rivers and tinkle in woods. And when they tinkle in the woods, it does not make a sound. Okay.
Hungry for glory! Seize the day!
Let's go.
They look angry! At your command! In good order! Onward! Forward we go! Onward! position. I will.
Oh shit, with chance encounter with a boa. Like, what kind of boa? Like, Titano boa? Or
I expect
boa constrictor? Or like smaller boa? Like the boa that doesn't, like, I don't know, crush people's bones, but just crushes like rabbit and bird bones. Anyways, what is it? But yeah, Arga, he had eyes on the whole of his body, and being exceedingly strong, he killed the bull. Oh, big ass boa. That kind. Well, I'm glad you're here. You're here safe. Safe. I would miss you if you were. I would miss you if you were gone, and gone, and you weren't there to listen to my drivel. To my drivel about delusions of barbaric grandeur and useless historical facts.
Foes beware.
Oh shit!
Combat.
Shit, they appeared in your girl's work that week. I'm glad you guys are safe.
Aim for their vitals.
Okay.
Forward we go.
I'm gonna just pull these guys back and step my.
Onward, warriors. Onward, warriors. Onward, warriors. Masters of war. To glory.
The historical facts aren't useless. It's good to have the context. I mean, I know that was a.
Lords.
I'm very good at self-disparaging, but yes, I'm very proud of the fact that I know I know more than I should. I mean, the thing is
Javelins ready.
making money is one thing, but living is something that money can't buy you. Like, this reminds me of
Foes beware.
Your warriors are wavering.
Hungry for glory.
like just reminds me of this book by a guy named Darren Shan. Shan, he made the Cirque du Freak series, and he made the Cirque du Freak and Demonata series. But yeah, he wrote a book called, what is it?
Javelins ready. Forward march.
But yeah, he wrote a book called. Wait, one second.
Victory!
They're losing decisively. Shit.
Got them. Power and glory. Strike hard. Death from afar.
Where the villain of the series, I repeat, the villain said if people really truly only need 3 hours of sleep, and if you want to get anything truly done with your life, you would only sleep about 3 hours a night. And the main character, the guy speaking to him, says, you know, I'm pretty sure that that Einstein slept for a good 8 hours a night. And he said, did Einstein make any money?
All conquering. Onwards.
One of your units has depleted their ammunition.
Power, glory, and your downfall.
But yeah, I mean, what would you rather have? No, what would you rather have? A few extra $100,000 over like 10 years, or being able to have a good night's sleep every night? I know. That's different for everyone, but I tend to get very cranky when I'm asleep, and I wouldn't give up my historical knowledge for a hell of a lot of money.
Your warriors are wavering.
Trained and ready. I will enjoy this. javelins, home! Let's see blood! Let's see blood! Massacre them! Wipe them out! Let the carnage begin!
Oh, an absolute melee going on here. Let's see what my axemen are doing.
Natural command!
Javelin
One of your units has depleted their ammunition.
Sons of Achaea! Agamemnon!
Absolute brutality.
Spears! Destroy the foe! Onward, warriors! Move up! Massacre them! Go at them! Slingshots! Go at them! Oh, must I kill you to stop this incessant prattle?
Sleep is absolutely important. I say that as I prepare for all-nighter. I know how that feels. I also work late nights because of my Indian co-workers. And you know, I love working with them. Working with them. This is one of the best jobs in the world, at least in my opinion. But you know what? But you know, I'm not capable of just going without sleep to the point where it's actually unhealthy. Unhealthy because it is very unhealthy for me.
Death from afar!
Grind them into the dust!
The men are fleeing battle! At your command! Wreak havoc! Strike hard!
Okay, anyways, and being, okay, so the guy has,
The enemy general has perished.
so Argus had eyes in the whole of his body, and being exceedingly strong, he killed the bull that ravaged Arcadia and clad himself in its hide. And when a satyr wronged the Arcadians and robbed him of his cattle, Argus withstood and killed him. Yeah, this is one of those guys that most people, it's always real help when you like the people you work with and for. Oh, that is true. Too many people have just
I will triumph!
are unfortunate enough to have to live and work with people who just are the absolute worst. So my heart goes out to them. But Argus, like a guy literally covered in eyes is on his skin. Not exactly the archetypical. The archetypical Greek hero. I mean, I think there's. I have, first of all, I know fuck all about Jujutsu Kaisen, but there's like some guy with one eye. I think his name is like Jogo, or who's sometimes described as Jogo, and like an inversion of Gojo.
Hungry
You know what? I digress. But yeah, covered in eyes.
ready for action!
Killed a bull, killed a giant bull, killed a satyr. Oh shit, he killed Echidna too. He killed Echidna, the mother of Typhon. Very cool.
They're turning tail!
All of this was done by Argus. He also avenged the murder of Apis by putting the guilty to death. Argus and Ismene, daughter of Asopus, had a son Iasus, who is said to have been the father of Io. But the annalist Castor and many of the tragedians alleged that that Io was a daughter of Inachus.
Victory! Thank the gods! Defeat is looming!
Okay. Hesiod and Acusilaus say that she was the daughter of Pyrrhon. Zeus seduced her while she had the priesthood of Hera. But being detected by Hera, he, by a touch, turned Io into a white cow. Oh, and swore that he had not known her. So, Honey, what are you, honey, who, I heard some sounds in the bedroom. What are you doing? Oh, I'm milking this big fat cow who I have never met in my life. But Hera requested the cow from Zeus for herself and set Argus the All-Seeing to guard it. Alright. Alright, so Phraacides said that this Argus was the son of Arestor, but Asclepiades says that he was the son of Inachus, and Kirkops said that he was the son of Argus and Ismene, daughter of Aesopus, but Acusilaus says that he was earthborn. He tethered her to the olive tree, which was the grove of the Mycenaeans, but Zeus ordered Hermes to steal the cow, and as Hermes could not do it secretly because Hyrax had blabbed, he killed Argus by the cast of a stone, whence he was called Argifontes. So Hermes, another name for Hermes, Argifontes. Hera next sent a gadfly to infest the cow, and the animal came first to what is known as after her, the Ionian Gulf. Oh, so that's why. So that's why the west coast of Turkey is called Ionia, after the big fat white cow Ionia. Io. Then she journeyed through Illyria, and having traversed Mount Hymus, she crossed what was then and called the Thracian Straits, but is now called after her the Bosporus. And having gone all the way to Scythia and the Cimmerian lands, she wandered over great tracts of land and swam wide stretches of sea both in Europe and Asia, until at last she came to Egypt, where she recovered her original form and gave birth to a son, Epaphus, beside the river Nile. Him Hera besought the Curetes to make away with, and make away with him they did. When Zeus learned of it, he slew the Curetes, but Io set out in search of the child. She roamed all over Syria, because there it was revealed to her that the wife of King of Byblus was nursing her son. And having found Epaphus, she came to Egypt and was married to Telegonus, who then reigned over the Egyptians. And she set up an image of Demeter, who the Egyptians called Isis. And Io, well, likewise, they called by the name of Isis. Oh, so remember, in these days, before the exclusionary, before the rise of something as exclusionary as Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. No, Judaism was around back then, but before that, people constantly thought of looked at other cultures' gods and said. And tried to find equivalents, thinking there were a set of gods for everyone, and people were worshipping them in just different ways. The concept of orthodoxy wasn't really a thing. So this is basically the Greeks appropriating Egyptian gods.
Orphan their offspring. Remember this day. A natural progression.
Alright, so this is bronze. Alright, that's good. Okay, Melos. What can I do with this place? Administration burden, fishing grounds, Water well. I'm gonna use some extra bronze.
King Agamemnon.
Alright, what next? The Cretans are all the way over here, so I think I should be fine. What else is everyone doing? Oh yeah,
Prove your
besieging.
worth. Don't falter now.
Okay, I guess we are assaulting. No, there's one turn left until they start suffering
Don't stop
attrition.
now.
I think I'm good. What else? What else? Pending actions. Unsigned skill points.
What I see, I own.
Okay. $2,000 gold in 6 turns. Yeah, I'm getting there. And events. Can't do that. Ruling family. Oh, she's. Let's see.
The kingdom's fate rests on your willingness to work together.
I don't need this right now.
Should you insult your peers, know that you insult the dignity of my court.
Oh, okay. Okay, reigning over the Egyptians, Epaphras married Memphis, daughter of the Nile, founded and named the city of Memphis after her, and begat a daughter, Libya, after whom the near region of Libya was called, so giving personification to every land. But Libya had by Poseidon twin sons, Agenor and Belus.
Peace.
Agenor and Belus. Agenor departed to Phoenicia and reigned there, and there he became the ancestor of the great stock. Hence we shall defer our account of him. But Belus remained in Egypt, reigned over the country, and married Noe, daughter of Nile, by whom he had twin sons, Egyptus and Danaus. But according to Euripides, he also had Cepheus and Phineas. Danaus was settled by Belus in Libya, and Egyptus in Arabia, but Egyptus subjugated the country of the Melompods and named it Egypt after himself. Both had children by many wives. Egyptus had 50 sons. Huh. And Jacob founded an entire ethnic group with only 12. What do you know?
Nice to be acknowledged.
Huh? Okay.
Speak honestly, and weigh your words. I want a court worthy of the name.
So Troy might be occupied currently with Knossos. All right, well, wait, let's get in there. The fates have spoken. Come forth and seize the chance to place all of the Great Green under your rule. Available to a pretender or one axe. Okay, let's see.
The mighty scepter.
Alright, all good. And let's give Menelaus
Into the fray. Prove your valor. Victory awaits. Fight on! Everlasting glory. Shepherd of the people. Strong in conflict. Form up and go. We've no time for laggards. On the oars.
I'm afraid I cannot.
Oh, okay. Okay, I guess we're not taxing you. Okay, let's continue. Both had children. Egyptus had 50 sons and Danaus 50 daughters. As they all afterwards quarreled concerning the kingdom, Danaus feared the sons of Egyptus, and by the advice of Athena, he built a ship. Being the first to do so, and having put his daughters on board, he fled. And touching at Rhodos, he set upon the image of Lindy and Athena. Thence he came to Argos, and reigning king Gelenor surrendered the kingdom to him. But having made himself master of the country, he named the inhabitants Danae after himself. But the country being waterless, because Poseidon had dried up the springs out of anger at Inachus for testifying that the land belonged to Hera, Danaus set his daughters to draw water. One of them, Amimone, in her search for water, threw a dart at a deer and hit a sleeping satyr. And he, starting up, desired to force her, but Poseidon appearing at the scene, the satyr fled. And Amimone lay with Poseidon, and he revealed to her the secrets, the springs at Lerna. Lerna, all right, that's where the Hydra was. All right.
The kingdom's fate rests on your willingness to work together.
trying to just... All right.
Prove your worth. Remain steadfast. Wide ruling king.
Okay, I'm not sure if I... All right, let's do this.
Let my enemies
No,
beware.
this is the next first passage has a lot of names. Okay. Diplomacy.
I've got what it takes.
I hope this won't take too long. All right.
A god among men.
Okay, so let's do this. But the sons of Egyptus came to Argus and exhorted Danaus to lay aside his enmity and begged to marry his daughters. Now, wait, hold on a second. So, Egyptus... So the sons of Egyptus are trying to marry Danaus, the brother of Egyptus, the daughters of Danaus, the brother of Egyptus. Wouldn't that make them marrying their cousins? It is ancient Greece, after all. Yep, ladies and gentlemen, and ancient Greece, or ancient anywhere. Alright. Now, Now Danaus had distrusted their professions and bore them a grudge on account of his exile. Nevertheless, he consented to the marriage and allotted the damsels among them. First, they picked up Hypermnestra as the eldest to be the wife of Lynceus, and Gorgophone to be the wife of Proteus. For Lynceus and Proteus had been born to the Egyptus by a woman of royal blood, Argithia. But of the rest, Busiris, Enceladus, Lycius, and Diphron obtained by the lot the daughters that had been born to Danaus by Europe, to wit, Automate, Amymone, Agave, and Scea. These daughters were born to Danaus by a queen, but Gorgophone and Hypermnestra were born to him by Elephantis. And Istrus got Hippodamia, Chalcedon got Rhodia, Agenor got Cleopatra, Caiatus got Asteria, Diocoristus got Hippodamia. Oh, so another Hippodamia. Alcis got Glauce, Alcmenor got Hippomedusa, Hippothoas got Gorge, Euchenor got Hippomedusa, Hippolytus got Rhode. These 10 sons were begotten on an Arabian woman, but the maidens were begotten by Hamadryad nymphs, some being daughters of Atlantia, and others of Phoebe. Agaptolemus got Pyrene, Kirkidas got Dorium, Eurydamas got Fartis, Aegeus got Nestra, Argius got Ivepe, Archelaus got Anaxibia, Menemachus got Nilo. These 7 sons were begotten on a Phoenician woman, and the maidens on an Ethiopian woman. The sons of Egyptus by Tyria got as their wives without drawing lots. The daughters of Danaus by Memphis in virtue of the similarity of their names. The Clitus got Clite, Snetellus got Snetelle, Chrysippus got Chrysippe. The 12 sons of Egyptus by the Naiad nymph Caliadne got cast lots for the daughters of Danaus by the Naiad nymph Polyxo. The sons were Eurylochus, Phantis, Peristhenus, Hermes, Dryas, Potamon, Cisseus, Lixus, Imbrus, Bromius, Polyctor, Chthonius, and the damsels were Autonoe, Theano, Electra, Cleopatra, Eurydice, Glaucippe, Anthelia, Cleodore, Evippe, Erato, Stygiene, Brici. The sons of Egyptus by Gorgo cast lots for the daughter of Danaus by Pyria, and Periphas got Actea, Oenas got Pordarce, Egyptus got Dioxippe, Menalcius got Adite, Lampus got Ocypite, Idmon got Pilarge. The youngest sons of Egyptus were these. Idus got Hippodace, Diphron got Adiante, the model who bore these damsels was Herse, Pandion got Calidice, Arbus got Arbellus got Oeme, Hyperbius got Celiano, Hippocoristus got Hyperpe. The mother of all these men was Hephaestion, and the mother of these damsels was Crino. There, what do you think? Okay.
Don't falter now! Don't stop now! The Lion of Mycenae. Stand at the ready!
How far can this guy
I'll have
go?
to refuse.
Maybe if I rushed him, I rushed them. I'm at Naxos 18.
That
Is it
will never
bald?
work.
Yes, it is.
Heroic times call for heroic leaders.
I wonder, can I get an ambush off here? Oh, I might actually be able to.
Making landfall.
I'm just gonna hang out here.
That will never work.
Speak honestly and weigh your words. I want a court worthy of the name.
What I see, I own. Heed my will.
Should you insult your peers, know that you insult the dignity of my court. Speak honestly and weigh your words. I want a court worthy of the name.
Alright, and...
Into the fray!
Okay. All right, let's continue. Where they at? When they had their when they had got their brides by lot. When they had got their brides by lot, Danaus made a feast and gave his daughters daggers, and they slew their what? Oh, okay. There were bridegrooms they slept, all but Hypermnestra, for she saved Lynceus because he had respected her virginity. Wherefore Danaus shut her up and kept her under ward. But the rest of the daughters of Danaus buried the heads of their bridegrooms in Lerna, and paid funeral honors to their bodies in front of the city, and Athena and Hermes purified them at the command of Zeus. Danaus afterwards united Hypermnestra to Lynceus, and bestowed his daughters on his other daughters on the victors in the athletic contest. So let me get this straight. After all that naming and naming of the pairings of man and woman, the women just killed them all. The women just killed the men. All right. Amoni had a son named Nauplius by Poseidon. This Nauplius lived to a great age, and sailing the sea, he used by beacon lights to lure to death such as he fell in with. It came to pass, therefore, that he himself died by that very death. But before his death, he married a wife. According to the tragic poets, she was Clymene, daughter of Catreus. But according to the author of the Returns, she was Philyra, and according to Kirchhoff, she was Hesione. By her, he had Palamedes, Oyax, and now Simedon. All right.
We may as well talk.
Understood. Might prevails.
Where'd he go? All right. We are besieging this idiot.
Hold your nerve! It is the beginning of their end!
I have total labor force.
Patience will bring them down!
The kingdom's fate rests on your willingness to work together.
Prove your valor! A world of unity and peace. Celebrate this triumph!
All right.
We shall settle here. Supreme warrior of the Aegean. I need vigilance and skill.
And
Strong in defense.
farmers turn to miners. Okay. What next? Alright. Lynceus ruled over Argos after Danaus begat a son, Abas, by Hypermnestra. And Abas had twin sons, Acrisius and Proetus, by Aglaia, daughter of Mantineus. These two quarreled with each other while they were still in the womb. And when they were grown up, they waged war for the kingdom. And in the course of the war, they were the first to invent shields. And Acrisius gained the mastery and drove Proetus from Argos. And Proetus went to Lyncia, to the court of Iobates, or some say of Amphianax, and married his daughter, who Homer calls Antia, but the tragic poets call her Stenoboea. His in-law restored him to his own land with the army of Lycians, and he occupied Tiryns, which the Cyclopes had fortified for him. They divided the whole of the Argive territory between them and settled in it, and Acrisius reigning over Argos, and Proetus over Tiryns. Stenoboea. All right, so Acrisius is, I know Acrisius is the father of Perseus, so this is where it actually starts to go into familiar territory.
Take them down! On the move!
Remain vigilant. The enemy is not alone in this fight. Reinforcements are...
Okay, and Acrisius had a daughter, Danae, by Eurydice, daughter of Lacedaemon. Note that Lacedaemon is one of the founders of the kingdom of Sparta, Laconia. And Proetus had daughters, Lysippe, Iphinoe, and Iphianassa by Stenoboea. When these daughters damsels were grown up, they went mad, according to Hesiod, because they would not accept the rights of Dionysus, but according to Cousilaus, because they disparaged the wooden image of Hera. In their madness, they roamed over the whole Argive land, and afterwards, passing through Arcadia and the Peloponnese, they ran through the desert in the most disorderly fashion, But Melampus, son of Amethon and Idomene, daughter of Abas, being the seer and the first to devise the cure by means of drugs and purifications, promised the cure of the maidens if he should receive the third part of the sovereignty. When Proetus refused to pay so high a fee for the cure, the maidens raved more than ever. And besides that, the other women raved with them, for they also abandoned their houses, destroyed their own children, and flocked to the desert. Not until all the evil had reached a very high pitch did Proetus consent to pay the stipulated fee, and Melampus promised to effect a cure whenever his brother Bias should receive just so many chalandas as himself. Supply and demand, basically. Basically, it's not supply and demand, it's like people saying, note, prices may increase in the future. Producer, when things get bad, the demand gets high, which means the price, meaning the price of the share of kingdom, gets higher. I don't know, I'm rambling, I'm also half asleep. Okay, anyways. So Melampus, taking with him the most stalwart of the young men, chased the women into a bevy from the mountains to Sicyon, on with shouts and a sort of frenzied dance. In the pursuit, Iphinoe, the eldest of the daughters, expired, but the others were lucky enough to be purified and so to recover their wits. Proetus gave them in marriage to Melampus and Bias, and afterwards begat a son, Megapenthus. Bellerophon, son of Glaucus, son of Sisyphus, having accidentally killed his brother Deliades, or some say Pyrrhon, or as others will have it, Alcimenes, came to Proetus and was purified. And Stheneboea fell in love with him and sent him proposals for a meeting. And when he rejected them, she told Proetus that Bellerophon had sent her a vicious proposal. Proetus believed her and gave him a letter to take to Iobates. So basically, Stheneboea, Proetus' wife, tries to cheat on Bellerophon with cheat on her husband with Bellerophon, and when Bellerophon refuses, she lies to Proetus. That's a very common trope, actually, in ancient mythology. That's what happens with Joseph and how he's thrown into prison from prison after the wife of the captain comes on to him, and when he says no, she claims he raped her. Anyways, it was Proetus believed her and gave him a letter to take to Iobates, in which it was written that he was to kill Bellerophon. Having read the letter, Iobates ordered him to kill the Chimera, believing that he would be destroyed by the beast, for it was more than a match for many, let alone one. It had the forepart of a lion, the tail of a dragon, and its third head, the middle one, was that of a goat. Through which it belched fire, and had devastated the country and harried the cattle, for it was a single creature with the power of 3 beasts. It is said, too, that this chimera was bred by Amisodarus, and Homer also affirms that it was begotten by Typhon and Echidna, as Typhon and Echidna, as Hesiod relates. So, Bellerophon mounted his winged steed Pegasus, offspring of Medusa and Poseidon, and soaring on high, shot down the Chimera from the height. After that contest, Iobates ordered him to fight the Solymi, and when he had finished that task, also, he commanded him to combat the Amazons, and we had killed them also. So what, he just killed the Amazons, all of them? Alright. He picked out the reputed bravest of the Lycians and bade them lay in ambush and slay him. But when Bellerophon had also killed them to a man, Iobates, in admiration of his prowess, showed him the letter and begged him to stay with him. Moreover, he gave him his daughter Philonoe, and dying bequeathed to him the kingdom. Yeah. Okay. Wait. They're all coming from behind. All right.
Just let me at them.
Combat ready! Hades will be busy today.
Lethal at range! Sons of Achaea!
Javelins ready.
I will triumph! So, this is it then!
Slings!
Hungry for glory! Forward march!
Hold javelins! At your command! Hungry for glory! Let's see blood! In good order!
Agamemnon!
Don't hold back!
All right!
Spears! Hungry for glory! Strike hard! altars of war. Let's see blood! With haste! Swords! To glory! Massacre them! Destroy the foe!
Your general is under attack.
Kill! For the Achaeans! Strike hard! Masters of war!
Okay.
Javelins home!
Yeah, that's the thing. Where that's the thing. If they're coming at you from, if the majority of the army is coming in from reinforcements, the rest of it is kind of a slaughter because you can just
Let fly!
corner. You can just corner them in one place.
Agamemnon! Sons of Achaea! Agreed. Javelins! Strike hard! Slingers fire!
One of your units has depleted their ammunition.
Wipe them out! Moving up! Onward, warriors! Destroy the foe! Fire slingshot!
All right.
Don't hold back! Destroy them! Let the carnage begin! Ready to serve!
Yeah, this should be over quickly.
For the Achaeans! Slingers ready! Combat ready! Loose! Slingshots! Javelins prepare! Forward march! Without question! A well-deserved victory! All conquering! Strike hard! Victory! Thank the gods! We won through!
The enemy general has perished.
Foes beware! Slings prepare! No mercy! Slingers fire!
Alright, anyways, where were we? When Acrisius inquired of the oracle how he should get male children, the god said that his daughter would give birth to a son who would kill him. Fearing that, Acrisius built a brazen chamber underground and there guarded Danae. However, she was seduced, as some say, by Proetus, whence arose the quarrel between them. But some say that Zeus had intercourse with her in the shape of a stream of gold, which poured down through the roof into Danae's lap. When Acrisius afterwards learned that she had got a child, Perseus, he would not believe that she had been seduced by Zeus, and putting his daughter with the child in a chest, he cast it out into the sea. The chest was washed ashore on Seriphus, and Dictys took the boy and raised him.
We vanquished them! Finally! Let them go. King Agamemnon. Keep at it! Fall upon them!
Okay, so expired barters.
My heartfelt greetings to King Agamemnon. We are honored. That worked out.
Okay, what else is there to do? Tiryns, this is the city that Proetus is in charge of.
Supreme warrior of the Aegean.
Alright, Agamemnon
Hold
is
your
going
nerve.
to...
I'll not falter. A true soldier.
Let's see, dancer. Don't need this. Lettuce? Lettuce is believed to be a powerful aphrodisiac, especially if imbued with the potency of a certain divine ingredient. Okay, Perseus the hero. Let's invite... let's invite the Athenians. Let's invite...
How can we work together to further...
Who do I need the assistance of the most?
King Odysseus.
My reputation endures.
Alright, let's get the help of Achilles.
Shining
Odysseus.
Odysseus.
And...
Born for war.
and Macaria. Alright. Alright, for one person a shield, for Odysseus a shield, for Achilles is some armor, and for Amphitryon some lettuce. Wow, the power of lettuce, and nobody even had to put their feet in it. Exactly. No, the feet is the divine ingredient. Is the divine ingredient. It wasn't the other bodily ingredient. All right. Anyways, let's see. So Perseus has just been exiled, sent to Seriphus. Polydectes, brother of Dictys, was then king of Seriphus and fell in love with Danae, but could not gain access to her, because Perseus was grown to man's estate. So he called together his friends, including Perseus, under the pretext of collecting contributions towards a wedding gift for Hippodamia, daughter of Oenomaus. Now Perseus, having declared that he would not stick even at the Gorgon's head, Polydictus required the others to furnish horses, and not getting horses from Perseus, ordered him to bring the Gorgon's head. So under the guidance of Hermes and Athena, he made his way to the daughters of Phorcus, to wit, Enyo, Pefredo, and Dino, for Phorcus had them all by Ceto, and they were all sisters of the Gorgons, and old women from their births. The three had but one eye and one tooth, and they passed each other in turn. Perseus got possession of both the eye and tooth, and when they asked for them back, he said he would give them up if they would show them the way to the nymphs. Now these nymphs had winged sandals and the kibsis, which they said was the wallet, but Pindar and Hesiod and the shield say of Perseus, but all his back had in the head of a dread monster, the Gorgon, and round him ran the kibsis. The kibsis is so called because dress and food are deposited in it. Some Greek stuff. Some Greek language stuff. So they also had the cap of Hades. When Phorcys had shown him the way, he gave them back the tooth and eye, and coming to the nymphs, he got what he wanted. So he slung the wallet, kibsis, in front of him, about him, fitted the sandals to his ankles, and put the cap on his head. Wearing it, he saw whom he pleased, but was not seen by others. It's the cap of darkness, basically. And having received from Hermes also an adamantine sickle, he flew to the ocean and caught the Gorgons asleep. They were Steno, Uriel, and Medusa. Now Medusa alone was mortal. For that reason Perseus was sent to fetch her head. But the Gorgons had head twined about with the scales of dragons, and great tusks like swines, and brazen hands, and golden wings by which they flew, and they turned to stone as such as beheld them. So Perseus stood over them as they slept, and while Athena guided his hand, he looked with averted gaze on a brazen shield, in which he beheld the image of the Gorgon. He beheaded her. When her head was cut off, there sprang from the Gorgon the winged horse Pegasus and Chrysaor, the father of Geryon. These she had by Poseidon. Wait. Oh, so the story of Perseus happened before the trials of Bellerophon. So Perseus put the head of Medusa in the wallet, kibsis, and went back again. But the Gorgons started up from their slumber and pursued Perseus. But they could not see him on account of the cap, for he was hidden by it. Being come to Ethiopia, of which Cepheus was the king, he found the king's daughter Andromeda set out to be the prey of a sea monster. For Cassiopeia, the wife of Cepheus, vied with the Nereids in beauty, and boasted to be better than all. Hence the Nereids were angry. And Poseidon, sharing their wrath, sent the flood and monster to invade the land. But Ammon having predicted deliverance from the calamity, if Cassiopeia's daughter Andromeda were exposed as prey to the monster, Cepheus was compelled by the Ethiopians to do it. And he bound his daughter to a rock. When Perseus beheld her, he loved her and promised Cepheus that he would kill the monster. if he would give him the rescued damsel to wife. Wife is a verb? Alright. These terms having been sworn to, Perseus withstood and slew the monster and released Andromeda. However, Phineas, who was a brother of Cepheus and to whom daughter had been first betrothed, plotted against him. Perseus discovered the plot, and by showing the Gorgon and turned him and his fellow conspirators at once into stone. And having come to surface, he found that his mother and Dictys had taken refuge on the altars on account of the violence of Polydectes. So he entered the palace, and when Polydectes had gathered his friends, and with averted face he showed the Gorgon's head, and all who beheld it were turned to stone, each at the attitude at which he happened to have been struck. Having appointed Dictys king of Seriphus, he gave back the sandals and the wallet and the cap to Hermes, and the Gorgon's head he gave to Athena. Hermes restored the aforesaid things to the nymphs, and Athena inserted the Gorgon's head in the middle of a shield. But it is alleged by some that Medusa was beheaded for Athena's sake, and they say that the Gorgon was fain to match herself with the goddess even in beauty. Twins have been born, alright. This is one of the few, I guess this is one of the few games in which twins can be born. Alright.
Massacre the lot! Patience will bring them down!
Where should I go next?
We shall sacrifice a bull, then speak together.
Alright, time to head east, time to head east to conquer Troy.
I remain undaunted.
Perseus hastened with Danae and Andromeda to Argos in order that he might behold Acrisius. But he, learning of this and dreaded the oracle, forsook Argos and departed to the Pelasgian land. Now Titamides, king of Larissa, was holding athletic games in honor of his dead father, and Perseus came to compete. He engaged in the pentathlon, but in throwing the quoit, he struck Acrisius in the foot and killed him instantly. Perceiving that the oracle was fulfilled, he buried Acrisius outside the city. Wait, so he was struck in the foot by the quoit or whatever it is? Oh, I guess he died of gangrene. And being ashamed to return to Argos and claim the inheritance of him who had died by his hand, he went to Megapenthes, son of Proetus, at Tiryns and effected an exchange with him, surrendering Argos into his hands. So Megapenthes reigned over the Argives, and Perseus reigned over Tiryns, after fortifying also Mydia and Mycenae. And he had sons by Andromeda. Before he came to Greece, he had Persis, who he had left behind with Cepheus, and from him it is said the kingdom of Persia descended. And in Mycenae, he had Alcaeus and Sthenelus, and Helios, and Mestor, and Electrion, and a daughter Gorgophone, who Perieris married. Alcaeus had a son Amphitryon, and a daughter Anaxo by Astidamia.
Order is earned through strife. But as long as strife reigns, so does chaos. As our great cities become fractured and fragile, so do our lands. May the gods preserve what we have built.
Okay, Pillars of Civilization. Let's see how this works. Asua. 3. Alright, I seem to be fine. Alright, we seem to be doing... We're doing alright.
I will not give up.
Alright.
Brother to Ares. Supreme warrior of the Aegean. Prepare the sacred feast. The voice of war. We'll need a watch rotor.
It's him.
Not possible.
Time to...
I cannot oblige.
He's coming from the completely different direction. Alright.
You ask too much.
Let's recruit a general.
Let's make war. Make me look good on the field.
All right.
Speak honestly and weigh your words. I want a court worthy of the name.
You have given me ample reason to oblige.
Okay. I guess
I'll
I'm plotting with him.
I offer you song, wine, and war. Fresh-faced and eager. I've got what it takes.
All right, I managed to get a group of Trojan traders.
A lackluster life offends me. Your path to victory.
That is beyond me.
Take them down.
I'll do it right. Join our shining ranks.
That will not work.
I can pull this off.
The kingdom's fate rests on your willingness to work together.
I'm ready, come what may.
Should you insult your peers, know that you insult the dignity of my court.
Alright. Forfeit ambition? No. Wait, what happened to my... Oh, I see, I just... Fuck. Okay, time to start diplomacying the shit out of this.
Look, companion. I won't let you.
I owe for duty.
Mycenae is a power to be reckoned with. I can...
Alright. Gold prestige. Alright, let's do some more diplomacying. What else? Ithaca.
Take wine with me.
Truest friend, deadliest enemy.
Always with honor.
Achilles the champion!
Let's see.
King Agamemnon's words have weight.
Alright, I need... Alright. Can I have... some bronze? Let's see.
I live for battle.
My heartfelt greetings to King Agamemnon. We are honored.
Can't do that, alright. Alright, I'm collecting tribute.
Well worth it.
I am collecting tribute from the Achaeans.
I can always tell what you intend by...
We can both pay.
I love a
The
challenge.
will of the Mycenaeans may be heeded.
I'm glad we...
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, anyway, so let's talk more about actual Greek mythology. So, give me a moment. Let me get some coffee. Okay, I'm back. Okay.
I won't let you down.
So what was I saying? Alcaeus had a son, Amphitryon. Oh, we just met him. And a daughter, Anaxo, by Astidamia, daughter of Pelops. But some say he had them by Laonome, a daughter of Gunias. Gunias. Others that he had them by Hipponome, daughter of Menoetius, and Mestor at Hippotoe by Lycidice, daughter of Pelops. This Hippote was carried off by Poseidon, who brought her to the Achaean Islands, and there he had intercourse with her, and begat Taphius, who colonized Taphos and called the people Telebuans, because he had gone far from his native land. And Taphius had a son, Teralaus, who Poseidon made immortal by implanting a golden hair in his head. And to Teralaus were born sons, to wit, Chromius, Tyrannus, and Antiochus, Chersidamus, Mestor, and Eueris. Electron married Anaxo, daughter of Alcaeus, and begot a daughter, Alcmena, and sons, to wit, Stratobatus, Gorgophanes, Philomenes, Selenius, Amphicamachus, Lycinomus, Chiromachus, Anactor, and Archelaus. And after these, he had a bastard son, Licymenius, by a Phrygian woman, Medea. Is my mic still working? Yes. When Electron reigned over Mycenae, the sons of Teralaus came with some Taphians and claimed the daughter of Mestor, their maternal grandfather, and as Electron paid no heed to the claim, they drove away his kine. But when the sons of Electron stood in their defense, they challenged and slew one another. This is something that I find very common among common in Greek mythology. Groups of sons killing each other, fighting with each other, not with armies, but just beating each other up and smacking each other with swords. Or at least that's what it's described. Maybe they do it with armies. But of the sons of Electron, there survived Licinius, who was still young, and of the sons of Pterolaus there survived Everes, who guarded the ships. Those of the Taphians who escaped sailed away, taking with them the cattle they had lifted, and entrusted them to Polyxenus, king of the Eleans. But Amphitryon ransomed them from Polyxenus and brought them to Mycenae. Wishing to avenge his son's death, Electryon proposed to make war on the Teleboans, but first he committed the kingdom to Amphitryon along with his daughter Alcmena, binding them by oath to keep her a virgin until his return. Electryon proposed... Hold on. Tomorrow is fear, correct. Myongri Sumilia. Tomorrow is fear and the Goth Rock karaoke. So thank you so much for coming. I will see you later. But first he committed the kingdom to Amphitryon along with his daughter Alcmena, binding him by oath to keep her a virgin until his return. And however, as he was receiving the cows back, one of them charged, and Amphitryon threw at her the club which he had in his hands. But the club rebounded from the cow's horns, and striking Electryon's head, killed him. Hence, Sthenelus laid hold of his pretext to banish Amphitryon from the whole of Argos, while he himself seized the throne of Mycenaean Tyrrhens, and he entrusted Medea to Atreus and Thyestes, son of Pelops, who he had sent for. Oh, Atreus! I will bring up. Atreus might have been a real person. Hittite texts describe a Mycenaean warlord named Atharsia that pillaged Anatolia. Amphitryon went with Alcmena and Lysimenius to Thebes and was purified by Creon and gave his sister Perimede to Lysimenius. And as Alcmena said, she would marry him when he had avenged her brother's death. Amphitryon engaged to do so and undertook an expedition against the Teleboans and invited Creon to assist him. Creon said he would join the expedition if Amphitryon would first rid the Cadmea of the Vixen, for a brute of a Vixen was ravaging the Cadmea. But though Amphitryon undertook the task, it was fated that nobody should catch her. Amphitryon... Alright, so what were we doing again?
I was wondering when you would seek me out. I was wondering when you would seek me out.
Okay. Okay.
I think that... Let's talk things over while we can.
How can we work together to further the Achaean cause?
Acceptable.
All right.
I feel sure your heart is open to my words.
I will marry... I will suggest Helen... Wait, isn't Helen supposed to be married to Menelaus? Acting general, civilian... And I will marry her to the acting general, Erissaus. Alright. I will ask for military access. And I will request a gift of this much of 1690 a food.
At once.
We could talk? Yes. Why not?
Achilles? This Achilles does not sound like Brad Pitt. Not at all.
We should both...
I was wondering when you would seek me out.
Alright, let's marry Periclymenos. I guess not. Alright, I guess Menelaus is going to marry Theriophone. Does that mean the war is going to be called the... No, that's... Does that mean in her face is going to be the face that launches 1,000 ships? Alright. And I will request a gift of...
That worked.
My name will be legend.
Wait a minute. So by giving him to the other faction, it means actually giving him? Shit! That's not what's supposed to happen. The wife is supposed to come to me. What a joke. Okay.
Fighting for Ares.
Okay, I guess Orestes is my... I guess Orestes, Agamemnon's son, is now the general. Okay, I'll give him a Mesopotamian concubine. I'll give him
With Athena's blessing.
Companion of
Don't need
Ares.
them.
Bored
Don't need
for
their help.
war.
I could use their help.
Given the situation, I'm glad we're talking now.
State your orders.
We can take them.
Enemies beware.
All right. Okay. Okay, where were we? All right, that sounds good. Okay, so here's where it gets, before Amphitryon reached Thebes, Zeus came by night, and prolonging the one night threefold, he assumed the likeness of Amphitryon and bedded with Alcmena, and related with what had happened concerning the Teleboans. But when Amphitryon arrived and saw that he was not welcomed by his wife, he inquired the cause, and when she told him that he had come the night before and slept with her, he learned from Tiresias how Zeus had enjoyed her. And Alcmena bore two sons, to wit, Hercules, whom she had by Zeus, and who was the elder by one night, and Iphicles, whom she had by Amphitryon. When the child was 8 months old, Hera desired the destruction of the babe, and sent 2 huge serpents to the bed. Alcmena called Amphitryon to her help. But Hercules arose and killed the serpents by strangling them with both his hands. However, Pherecydes said that it was Amphitryon who put the serpents in the bed, because he knew he would know which of the 2 children was his, and that when Iphicles fed and Hercules stood his ground, he knew that Iphicles was begotten of his body. Wait. Hold it. What the? Menelaus backstabbed me. I gave one of my best generals in marriage to them, and now I get utterly backstabbed. Holy shit! Declared war. Declared war.
The kingdom's fate rests on your willingness to work together.
Let's see, who is plotting against me?
I am just the age where gossip comforts me. I needed it.
Orphan their offspring.
Yep, he's besieging me.
Let's make war.
I can hardly wait.
Okay.
Fall upon them.
Let's see if I can finish this quickly.
Prepare the victory feast. Leave nothing of value. We've no time for laggards. Wide ruling king.
Alright, Orestes gets some lettuce because he's on a diet.
War makes the man.
So, clothes makes the man, as does war, alright.
Prepare! Forced march. Check their defenses.
That's beyond me.
Might prevails.
Let's see. Okay, anyways. Hercules was taught to drive a chariot by Amphitryon, to wrestle by Autolycus, to shoot with the bow by Eurytus, to fence with Castor, and to play the lyre by Linus. This Linus was as a brother to Orpheus. Was a brother of Orpheus. He came to Thebes and became a Theban, but was killed by Hercules with the blow of the lyre for being struck by him. Hercules flew into a rage and slew him. So, one thing to note, Hercules is not a good guy. He is a brute and has a... Oh, he's a cunning brute, but nevertheless gets very angry, has a temper problem. The Hittite Civil War begins. A new Wanax... Hector, the Wanax position. Where'd he go? Okay.
Let me at them.
Who's ready and willing? I will inspire you to greatness.
We will win through.
your nerve!
Okay.
In matters of rule, you are my arms and armor. Serve me well.
There's literally only one person that can be... All right.
Doing Hades' work. As you were. Setting out. Onward to glory. To battle. Go at them. Get in there.
All right. Who are you?
Strong in conflict.
Pending actions.
We should both come out of this well. Now that...
King Agamemnon's words have weight.
All right, military alliance ends. Let's go. All right.
My heartfelt...
I can always tell.
I hope,
As Athena...
in case it's not obvious, I'm not happy to be here.
All right, for that for that insult, you're going to have to pay up. Pay up. I'm willing to forgive you, but I require a token of your a token of assurance.
Well worked.
We should both...
Let's talk. We may as...
I can't see that... Don't try and take advantage.
All right.
I live for battle. I'll have to refuse. Never faltering. That is not possible.
When he was tried for murder, Hercules quoted a law of Rhadamanthus, who laid it down that whoever defended himself against a wrongful aggressor shall grow free, and so he was acquitted. So basically, if a schoolmaster or a teacher spanks you as a child, and you stab him, it's self-defense. All right. But fearing he might do the like again, Amphitryon sent him to the cattle farm, and there he was nurtured and outdid all in stature and strength. Even by the look of him, it was plain that he was a son of Zeus, for his body measured 4 cubits, and he flashed a gleam of fire from his eyes, and he did not miss, neither with the bow or the javelin. While he was with the herds and had reached his 18th year, he slew the lion of Cithaeron, for that animal, sallying from Cithaeron, harried the kine of Amphitryon and of Thespius. All right. When he was with herds and had reached his 18th year, he slew the lion of Cithaeron, for that animal, sallying from Cithaeron, harried the kine of Amphitryon and of Thespius. Now this Thespius was king of Thespii, and Heracles went to him when he wished to catch the lion. The king entertained...
Ever more power.
The king entertained... Let's see...
Let my enemies beware.
Oh, Danaan rebels.
Massacre the lot. Don't let up. Take them down!
Okay. Melos.
Victory beckons. Victory beckons. The world is what we make it.
Well said. Okay, where did he go? Where did he go?
ready to march. Praise Poseidon.
My rule will show strength in resilience and wisdom in restraint.
Okay, court, local deities, royal decrees, faction leader, faction summary, power of the crown.
I'm sure we will reach agreement.
All right.
Remember your honor, courtiers, so your work might be remembered in turn.
The king entertained him for 50 days, and each night, as Heracles went forth to the hunt, Thespius bedded one of his daughters with him, 50 daughters having been born to him by Megamede, daughter of Arnias, for he was anxious that all of them should have children by Hercules. Thus Hercules, though he thought that his bedfellow was always the same, had intercourse with them all, and having vanquished the lion, he dressed himself in the skin and wore the scalp as a helmet. As he was returning from the hunt, there met him heralds sent by Erginus to receive the tribute from the Thebans. Now the Thebans paid tribute to Erginus for the following reason. Clymenus, king of the Minions, was wounded with a cast of stone by a charioteer of Menoetius, named Perieris, in a precinct of Poseidon at Onker.
I have always feared the name.
Nice to be acknowledged.
In matters of rule, you are my arms and armor. Serve me well.
I lost. Fuck. Alright, what can I get? Alright, I have been kicked out of my position. I have been kicked out of my position as Oracle. I've kicked out of my position as religious leader. Shit. Grand Telestus, what does this do? Okay, sacred lands to gain resources. Army spread influence. Increase movement speed and melee attack for all bodyguard units. Hequetus. Alright, elite units in special recruitment. Alright, I'm going to have a...
Not really an option.
Okay.
Good and ready.
Where to go from here? Where to go?
I'm afraid I cannot. The
just...
voice of war!
Alright, I'll just have to kill him.
Prepare!
Orphan their offspring.
My deeds will shape this land.
Remember this day.
Not really an option. Ship docked.
The Lion of Mycenae. King Agamemnon.
Weapons ready.
Remember your honor, courtiers, so your work might be remembered in turn.
Court discount. Okay. Cyclades province. Not yet. Malachite jewelry, alright. Bling.
Epic deeds.
My rule will show strength in resilience and wisdom in restraint.
Gold-rich Agamemnon.
Okay. As he was returning from the hunt, there met him heralds sent by Erginus to receive the tribute from the Thebans. Now the Thebans paid tribute to Erginus for the following reason. Clymenus, king of the Minions, was wounded with a cast of stone by a charioteer of Menoicus. His name Perieris, in a precinct of Poseidon at Onchestus, and being carried away dying to Orchomenus, he with his last breath charges on Erginus to avenge his death. So Erginus marched against Thebes, and after slaughtering not a few of the Thebans, he concluded a treaty with them, confirmed by oaths.
Lord of men.
Strong in defense. That is beyond me. Landfall.
What I see, I own.
Minoa, where is that? Oh, I'm guessing that's Crete.
Heed my will.
Wait, did Hector die? Alright, so Paris is now the... let's see.
Never beaten.
Okay, let's build Oh, the settlement is under siege, alright.
Shepherd of the people.
Oh, okay. So Erganus marched against. He concluded that they should send him tribute. He concluded a treaty with the Thebans, confirmed by oath that they should send him tribute for 20 years, 100 kine every year, falling in with the heralds on their way to Thebes to demand tribute. However, Heracles outraged them, for he cut off their ears and noses and hands, and having fastened them by ropes to their necks, he told them to carry that tribute to Erganus and the minions. Indignant at this outrage, this outrage. So basically, Hercules' domain and carries its and deals in blood, not tribute. But Heracles, having received weapons from Athena and taken the command, killed Erganus, put the minions to flight, and compelled them to pay double the tribute to the Thebans. And it chanced that in the fight, Amphitryon fell fighting bravely, and Hercules received from Creon his eldest daughter Megara as a prize of valor. Oh, Megara from, what's his name, from the movie. And by her he had 3 sons, Thermachus, Creontiades, and Decun. But Creon gave his younger daughter to Iphicles, who already had a son, Iolaus, by Automedusa, daughter of Alcathous. And Rhadamanthus, son of Zeus, married Alcmena after the death of Amphitryon, and dwelt as an exile at Ocelia in Boeotia. Oh boy. I think I'm going to end the stream there. We're about halfway done. I'll finish the other half later. I'll finish the other half in another stream. And overall, I will personally thank both Amanda and Edo for coming. So, for anyone who's and I will timestamp the VOD. So for anyone who else who is coming, thanks for coming and expect more to come.